Hello and welcome to this Hive Bite practice where we will detail Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. In Sanskrit, Ardha is half, Chandra is moon, and Asana is posture. So if you need to warm up, go ahead and do that because we're going to jump right in. Let's come down onto the mat, left foot forward, right knee behind. You can use blocks if your arms feel like they're too short and you need more space. And then we're going to take that right foot and twist it behind us. Don't hesitate to pad your knees if they are sensitive and tender. So with my front foot, I'm pushing the heel down and forward. And I'm going to reach my right arm up. And then I'm going to reach that right arm over my ear. Inhaling, the right arm comes up. Exhaling, the right arm reaches over my ear. Inhale, the right arm comes up. And exhale, the right arm comes over my ear. One more like that. Inhale, the right arm comes up. And exhale, the right arm comes over my ear. Now some of you may stay right where you are with your hand on the block or the mat. Some of you might be able to bring your forearm to the left thigh. Keep twisting that top shoulder back behind you. Make sure your butt isn't squeezing back, but actually squeezing forward. And we'll take one more long breath here. Good. Let's return to center, hands and knees. And then we'll bring the right foot forward. We're going to take those left toes and twist them behind. And the right hand can be on a block, any height, or it can come down onto the mat or your fingertips. From here, the left arm reaches up. Let's take an inhale breath and reach over the ear. Exhale, left arm to center. Inhale over the ear. Exhale to center. And one more. Inhale over the ear. And hold here. Again, we're not letting this top shoulder roll towards the ground. We're stacking the shoulders over top of each other. The butt is squeezing the pelvis to the open side of the mat. And you can look down, out to the side, or maybe up toward your fingers. Notice if there's any tension in your jaw. And then come back to center. Let's find our way to our feet. From here, we're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot behind in a pretty wide stance. Your front heel is pointing to the middle of the back arch, bending into the front knee. From here, I'm squeezing my feet away from each other. My knee is tracking over the middle of my foot, and my butt is strongly engaged. Reaching my arms out to the side, I'm going to reach my left arm forward and then bring my forearm to my thigh. My right hand for now comes to the hip. So keep your butt from sticking out behind you. Squeeze your tail as if you're trying to push your pelvis forward. Top shoulder stacks over the bottom. And maybe some of you stay here. Maybe some of you can bring your left hand to the block. Maybe the right arm reaches up. If you need to bend it, that's okay. And maybe that right arm reaches over the ear, but only if the shoulder doesn't roll down. The feet are squeezing away from each other. Your left butt is engaged vigorously, pushing the pelvis towards the open side of your mat. Squeeze the front ribs to your back body. And extend from the edge of your back pinky toe all the way up through the crown of the head and your fingertips. Again, you can gaze down at the floor, out to the side, or maybe up at your thumb. From here, we'll bring that right arm up to the hip. Face it down to the block and step your back foot forward. We'll come up to standing And then try the second side. Right foot forward, left foot behind. Bend into the front knee. Front heel points to the back arch. Feet are squeezing away from each other, and my butt is vigorously engaged. From here, right forearm to the thigh. And notice how much weight you need to put in the thigh. Some of you might need to support yourself here. Some of you might just rest lightly. Top shoulder squeezing back, but continues to squeeze forward, and maybe the left arm comes up. Maybe the left arm comes over the ear. If you feel like you have some strength here and can lift the forearm off the thigh, you can bring it to the block at any level, or maybe even to the ground. Feet squeeze away from each other. Glutes are engaged, pushing the pelvis forward. Front ribs squeeze to back body. Extend from the pinky edge side of your back foot all the way through the fingertips, maybe gazing at the floor, out to the side, or up towards the thumb. Feel the strength of your legs, the lightness of your torso. The left hand comes behind. Pop up your back heel and walk the back foot forward for a forward fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale to fold down. Inhale to rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right. Now from here, we're going to move to a wall. If you have an open space, find that now. Go ahead and grab a block, and I'm going to start with my right side against the wall. I'm going to bring my right hand to my block. You could also, if you have a chair, you could grab a chair and you could hold on to the back of a chair instead if you need to be a little higher. Otherwise, your right hand comes to the block. And you can actually lean your right hip against the wall. Begin to lift the left leg. And then turn your toes to the left and begin to rest your upper back and maybe your left leg against the wall. Now your standing leg, push into your heel vigorously. Maybe keep a bend in that knee and feel your right butt strongly engaged. In this posture, it's easy to sort of sink back against the wall or into the right butt. But imagine that your standing leg could push into the center of the room, as if there were a board against the inside of this leg, and you have to keep that leg pushing against the board. Feel that now. And then maybe the left arm can reach straight up. Front ribs to back body. Can you get light on your right hand? Are you holding your breath? And we'll hold here for another long inhale and long exhale. From here, the left hand comes to the hip. I'm looking down. I'm turning my left toes down and stepping my left foot down. Let's do the other side. Folding down with my left hip against the wall. Right hand to my hip. Lifting my right leg and turning my right toes out to the right. And then to the best of my ability, twisting my torso so that my heart faces the middle of the room. Maybe my right arm reaches up. My standing leg has a soft knee as I push into the heel. The whole inner seam of that left leg is pushing towards the middle of the room, and my left butt is strong. My lifted leg, my heel is pushing back, my toes are spreading. And finally, my front ribs are squeezing into my back body. I'm either looking down at the floor, out in the middle, or up at my right thumb. Take another long, deep breath in here. And a long exhale breath.
Then look down, bring your hand to your hip, turn your right toes down and step the right foot next to the left. Come all the way up to standing
and take a moment. Notice here. Does your internal dialogue feel helpful, neutral, or distracting? So if doing it at the wall felt really challenging, then maybe you stay at the wall. If you feel like you've got the hang of it and you want to try it without training wheels, then go ahead and come to the mat. We're going to fold down and begin with both hands on your blocks or the mat. And when I'm detailing something like this, when I'm just working on the technique of it, sometimes I make it easier on myself and use blocks even if I know I don't need them. I'm going to switch the weight into my left foot and spread my toes and feel my left leg strong. I'm going to lift my right leg. I'm going to look back and make sure that all 5 toes are pointing straight down. And then I'm going to turn my toes out to the right. I can already feel this right hip wanting to twist and lift on top of the left hip. Once you're there, feeling your standing leg super strong, right leg lifted, pushing against an imaginary board. Maybe you can get light on your right fingertips and bring your right hand to your hips, to your hip. Maybe your right arm can reach straight up. And I'm going to keep looking down because my balance feels a little sketchy here. But you could look out into the middle of the room, or maybe you could look up at your thumb. Remember when we were against the wall and I told you to push your standing leg towards the middle of the room? Do that now and feel how it allows you to open the heart and open the front body. Take one more easy breath here. And then bring the right hand to the block. Turn the right toes down and step your right foot next to the left. Let's take an inhale breath together as we rise and reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's do the second side. Folding down, hands come to the blocks or your mat. Shift the weight into your right foot and spread your toes. Feel the whole right leg and the energy from your butt reaching down through the heel, and lift the left leg. Toes start out by pointing straight down. Now, turn the toes to the left, and then push into your standing leg so much that you can twist your left hip up towards the sky. Maybe get light on your left fingertips. Maybe your hand comes to your hip. Maybe the left arm reaches straight up. Remember, you're pushing vigorously into the whole standing leg, from your butt all the way down to the heel. And then that right leg is pushing towards the midline, towards the center of the room. Your lifted back leg, the heel is pushing against an imaginary board. Your toes are spreading. And you are breathing calmly. Even if you fall in and out of this, maybe your leg isn't super high. And then left hand comes down, left toes point straight down, left foot to the mat. Move your blocks away and let your feet be as wide as the mat, and then dangle here. If being folded doesn't feel good, you can bring your elbows to your thighs and just let your head hang. Otherwise, maybe the arms just release down. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Allow the skin on your face to relax so much that you can feel the pull of gravity. And then bend the knees and slowly round up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Bringing the hands to the heart and bowing the head. Gratitude for this practice. gratitude for the body that allows us to practice. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. Thank you for practicing with me.